All right, so 25th anniversary.
Yes.
Where has all the time gone?
The time has flown. I can't believe it's 25 years. I have been posting a lot of pictures on Instagram, and just looking back, my kids were like 5 and 6 in these pictures, and now they're 30 and 31. You know, it's shocking just how the time flew by. But it's been a labor of love, you know. So it's been wonderful. I think for us, the best part about it has been the people we've met. You know, we've made so many friends over the years through this restaurant, and just met really amazing people, either having worked here as customers, musicians, artists, so many people that we would never have gotten to know had not we done this endeavor. So.
All right, so I know we've talked about this in the past, but I'll go ahead and ask you about it again. Go through sort of the timeline of the restaurant. Bring me back to when you first opened on Main Street.
Yeah, so we opened October 21st, 1994. It was pretty much across the street from Binghamton High School. There's just an empty lot there now. But it was Reese's Seafood back in the day, and it was just an empty building that was owned by the Ackles, and we asked, can we like renovate this and turn it into a restaurant? We did, gosh, on a shoestring budget, like basically pieced it together and opened a restaurant that, you know, we were serving kind of basically what we have now. I mean, it gradually expanded, but it was just a coffee house. We didn't have a liquor license. We didn't serve beer or wine or anything. And just had we had a following of a lot of students, you know, were coming in. It was a really fun environment. And then after a couple of years, Adam Weitzman bought this building downtown and he was a customer of ours, asked us if we would want to move into the building downtown and become his anchor tenant. And that was like a huge expansion for us because we were in a tiny little place that sat 30 people. And neither of us had any experience other than working in restaurants. Like, we didn't have training as far as like going to hospitality or management school or anything like that. So it was pretty much on the job training for us. But we did take the plunge and move downtown in '97, and we've been here ever since.
Yeah. Now that was at one time an old like garage, like gas station sort of.
Yes, years ago it was an old garage. There were like oil tanks in the ground underneath. You know, there was one bathroom. The kitchen was a tiny little cubicle, basically. I don't know how we did it, to be honest with you. But it worked, you know, we were happy there. And we had garage doors that we would open in the summer, and people would sit outside. It was just like it was kind of a bohemian space, really funky. But it was fun, you know.
And of course, I'm sure people ask you all the time, but I have to get the official story behind the name.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Liz was living in New York City. I had moved from New York back to Binghamton. I was working up here, and she would always come visit with her little Chihuahua. And several times the dog went wandering. Like one time I was supposed to be watching the dog. She went to pick up pizza, and the dog was so worried about her leaving, it snuck out my back door, and it was missing for a week. She had to go back to work in New York. We had, you know, lost dog signs all over the west side of Binghamton. And then, you know, that happened like 2 or 3 times. And it's hard to name a cafe. Like, everybody sits around trying to think of names. And somebody said, what about the fact that your dog has been lost so many times? And we said, well, that's kind of got a ring to it. Let's call it Lost Dog Cafe. And everybody agreed. And we found an artist to do a drawing of Clarice, the lost dog, and that's been our logo ever since. So that's the story.
At the end of the day, was Clarice finally found?
She was found. She was found. Yeah, she lived to, I think she lived to like age 16 or 17. She didn't pass away until we moved down here. I think in '99 she passed away. And we didn't really tell anyone because we didn't want little kids to be upset, but we started to put her on the menu with like a halo and angel wings. That was our way of letting everybody know, but we didn't want the kids to be upset about it, so yeah.
So when you moved down here, what was the reaction of the community? Did it take a while? Was it slow to take hold, or
No.
did you have like an instantaneous response?
Instantaneous response. We were unprepared for the amount of people that came here. we didn't know we never had a host in the garage. We didn't know we would need a host. We used to be able to just come in and just sit down, and we started to realize like the logistics of running a restaurant, like we had to get structure. We didn't have structure. So luckily, you know, we had some servers that had worked at some chain restaurants, and they were like helping us on the fly, like, you know, you need an employee manual, you need to organize this and give it structure, which we did do. And you know, we had to publish a schedule, like all the things you would just verbally say, oh, you're working tomorrow, you know, in a smaller place. You can't really do that when there's so many people that you're trying to manage. So it was a lot to learn. But yeah, we were well received in the beginning. I think people, you know, as we've seen over time, more and more restaurants open, I think people, you know, they like to go out. It's fun to go to dinner, and they're happy to have a new place to go to. So, yeah.
We've talked about this in previous interviews, but I'll ask again. You seem to serve a very diverse clientele.
Yeah.
So perhaps in the early days at the garage, it was largely Sunni kids. But,
yes.
But there's all sorts of folks coming in now. What
I
do you
think,
attribute
yeah.
that to?
Well, I think in the beginning we did have a lot of students over in the garage, and we did have people though that liked our food. So there were all kinds of people, but mainly students. And I think people thought the atmosphere was a little nicer here. It wasn't so campy as the garage. So people who might not have wanted to give us a try before, older people, like said, well, let's see what this place is all about. And so we never really lost our student base, and then we started to get business people and just ladies who lunch and women, you know, all kinds of people started coming. And it was always very interesting to look around the dining room and see the mix of people. You know, you'd say, wow, this is interesting. Look at these people all together. That's just how it's been ever since, really. So.
And have you always just sort of operated from a point of view of kind of just doing what felt natural and right to you, or have you at times specifically said, okay, well, we want to be this much funky but this much accessible, or because you seem to have maintained throughout that sort of funky flair, and yet you're very accessible to the broad population.
Yeah, I think you just have to be yourself. You know, I notice when people open a restaurant, it's a representation of who they are. So this is kind of who Liz and I are, you know, who we are. We're not trying to be anything we're not. We're not fancy people, you know, we're just down to earth, kind of like, you know, what we have in common is we really care about our community, we care about people, and we like good food. And that was always our goal. Like, our inspiration was we wanted to get involved in the community. We always wanted to help if we could, and we've always done that, you know, and that's just been the foundation of this restaurant. It's kind of more than a restaurant, you know, it's kind of more like, it's a community gathering space. So that's what we always wanted. So I think we succeeded, you know. We're more than a restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you support lots of charitable
Oh
causes.
gosh, yes, absolutely.
You also host a number of events. Talk to me about how you, over time, have expanded into this portion of the building. Yeah,
so we were always on the other side. This space that we're standing in the beginning was a clothing store. Then it became a yoga studio. Then it became a hair salon. Like, it's been many things. And at a certain point when it emptied out, the landlord said to us, do you want the space? And we said, yeah, we'll do some catering. We can do that. And then in 2011, the hair salon that was in the front of the building moved out, and the landlord said, do you want that space? And we said, yeah, we'll open a lounge. We'll see how that goes. So it's just been gradual over the years, you know. We don't own our building. We do just rent, because it's a huge building and there's a lot of stuff that goes on in this building. But we occupy the entire first floor of this building, and you know, it's just a really great space. It was a cigar factory in the 1800s. We have the pictures from that and everything. It's a cool space, you know, it's an interesting space, so we like it.
How many people do you employ these days?
50 people, a lot of people, yeah.
And now you're Monday through Saturday? Are you closed on Sundays?
We're Monday through Saturday. We're closed on Sundays. Years ago, we used to be open for Sunday brunch, and then we just realized, I mean, as much as it would be nice to do that, it's just too much. We wanted to have a life, you know, where a day where no matter what, everybody's off and we can just relax, you know, and do repairs and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
So what are the restaurant hours? What are the lounge hours?
So the restaurant is open Monday through Saturday, 11:30 to 10 p.m., and the lounge is open Tuesday through Saturday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we're open from 5 to midnight, and on the weekends we're open till 2 a.m. And we usually every single weekend have, live music. Every Saturday night we have a DJ here. We have trivia night. We have, karaoke night. We have live jazz 2 times a month, the first and third Wednesday of the month. So there's always some fun things going on here, keeps us busy.
And you started bottling some of your sauces?
Yes, we did that. I think it's been like 3 years now. We decided to bottle our vodka sauce and a couple of other things. And they're sold in the Weiss markets, and they're sold at Tom's in Binghamton, and Red and White, and a bunch of places around town. Moravito, I think, has them. And, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So this is what I would ask Liz if she were here, and she's not.
Yes.
How much has the menu sort of changed over the years, and is it rigatoni alla vodka? Is that the original?
Yes.
And does that date back to the very early days?
Yes.
Talk to me about.
So I wish Liz was here today. She's at the vet with her dog. She was supposed to be here, and I have to say, it was Liz's idea to open Lost Dog Cafe. She wanted to get out of New York, and she said, let's open a cafe, because both of us had worked in restaurants and everything. It's her recipe, rigatoni alla vodka, which is our signature dish. I remember the day she made it in the old garage, and I tasted it and I thought, holy cow, I think this might do well. Like, I knew the second I tasted it. And then she made a couple of other sandwiches, and I was like, okay, I think we're okay. We're gonna be okay. Over the years, the menu, it's always kind of had like an international, definitely veg forward, lots of vegetables. We had a veg burger on our very first menu when people didn't have veg burgers on their menus. But it's always been veg forward, healthy, although I won't say that the rigatoni alla vodka is necessarily healthy, it's just delicious. And it's always been influenced by kind of globally, we like all kinds of food. We love everything. We love Mexican, we love Thai, so we try to get some of those influences in our food whenever we can. So, Indian,
Sure.
Yeah.
How much is Liz still involved in the kitchen? Is she sort of executive chef in a sense now?
No, she's not. No, she's not. She doesn't work in the kitchen at all. I think she stepped out of the kitchen probably like 8 years ago or so. She could if she had to, but we're more like behind the scenes. Like, we plan the menus, we work with our chefs. They come up with a lot of the specials every single day. But as far as planning, Liz does all of the financial stuff here for the restaurant. So yeah, she's really great.
So tell me about how you're marking the 25th. What do you guys
So what we've been just reminiscing, posting pictures on Instagram, old pictures, and we're going to continue to do so. This Saturday we're doing for charity. You can bring your dog from 11 to 3 in the lounge. The lounge is closed, so we're not serving food in there or anything. Bring your dog in. We're going to have photos taken. It's $10 for the picture, and proceeds will go to Every Dog's Dream. And it's like a fall backdrop, so if you want to dress your dog in a Halloween costume, feel free. So that's one way. We're also going to do some throwback menus. We're going to do specials from back in the garage. So if you see that every day, it's something we've done in the past. We'll probably mention it too. So for the rest of the month, we'll do throwback specials of our dishes that we used to make. So, yeah.
All right. I guess finally, do you have thoughts about sort of your position as sort of a trailblazer when it comes to the downtown restaurant scene? I mean, it seemed like for many years, you guys were kind of alone right here. I mean, Little Venice has been here. There's been some other eateries. But in terms of someone coming into downtown, I mean, Little Venice been here for decades. Do you ever think about that? How you guys kind of took a leap of faith before anyone else?
Yeah, how do I think about that? I just feel, well, Liz and I have been best friends. You know, we went to high school together. We were musicians together. It's just been a joy to work with a close friend and, you know, have family members work here. I don't think we were thinking about being trend setting. We just were like busy like showing love, I want to say. And I think it's just this outpouring of, it's just what we wanted to give to this community, you know? And it's a giving thing. That's what it's all about. And because of that, we've gotten twice as much in return, truly. So I don't know about trendsetters, but we're happy to be here.